Hello, everyone. Welcome to Miss Valley Entertainment News. My name is Dread. Hey, sorry, no picture today. Too early in my morning to want to be on camera, but I want to tackle this because it's fresh. It's very fresh. It's fresh, so fresh it's raw. And I'm going to start with we're going to get a couple of different opinions here. One from the um, excuse me, one from the UK and one from America. Hey, and I'm going to take my opportunity to be like number 666. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to start with Mr. H reviews here, and I'm calling this, we're doing two reactions, but in one, but I'm calling this overall my video Disney Star Wars Racist and Non-Binary and Bots. Are you sick of Disney Star Wars yet? I know for myself, my honest opinion is they could go jump off a cliff and fuck themselves. That's my honest opinion at this point. And they've completely, utterly ruined the franchise that I most loved in this world. It's very hard to be on board with anything. I mean, the Bad Batch, especially this last season, has been very good. But again, this falls outside of the purview of Kathleen Kennedy, which is probably why the animation's still banging out some great stuff. I think Ahsoka was a valiant effort by Dave Filoni that fell far, far short. Needed some expert writers to come in and help Dave drastically, drastically needed writers on that show. He had no idea what the fudge he was doing, but he tried. But he better do a lot better with it for his next thing, for his movie or whatever's coming next. You know, some of the Mandalorian's been good, some of it's been hit and miss, but some of it's been good. When it gets a lot of interference from above from Kathleen Kennedy and her crew who are trying to ruin Star Wars, things don't go so well. Same with Book of Boba Fett. There was the Boba Fett in the Mandalorian was great. Boba Fett in his own show should have been great. It was an interesting show. It did fill in some gaps. There was some interesting parts to the story, but overall, it was pretty effed. Um, so yeah, are there aspects of Disney Star Wars I will still follow? Absolutely, but there's far more that I won't touch with a hand grenade and a long pole. All right, let's get into what Mr. H has to say here. His video is called "Star Wars Outlaws Developer is Racist and Hates White Men."
Let's take a look at this one first. So Star Wars Outlaws community manager who works, direct for Ubisoft basically. So game developer, it's just racist basically, just out and out racist. There's no two ways about it. She's racist.
I agree, she is.
Just really disgusting.
Proves it by her words.
So who is it?
Racists are disgusting.
It's an individual called Shauna Jones, community manager for Ubisoft, who is working on Star Wars Outlaws.
By the way, if you're of the opinion that people can't be racist against white people, then you're probably a racist. Let's throw that right out there. Saying I can't judge I'm allowed to judge this one entire race by any bad thing that I want to put out there that's on all of them. If you don't find that to be racist, you don't understand what racism is. Okay? You don't. If you think it's not okay for people to call your race something, but it's okay for you to call their race something, surprise, you're the racist. I'm throwing that out there because it's true and it's not said enough. People are shamed for saying it. People are canceled for saying it. But it's still the truth. It's the obvious truth. You don't pick on a race without being racist. It's stupidity. I don't understand. Well, whatever. I don't understand a lot about racism because I don't get it. I don't see any races but one, human race. We're all part of the human race. I don't care what your skin color is. Doesn't matter to me. It's coloration. That's all it is. Who cares? Sure. Uh Different races may have different things, right? traditionally your Caucasians are seen as light skinned and tall and blonde haired, but that's more actually of a Norse thing. I don't know, but you know, Asian people are shorter compared to Caucasians and black people. Like, I mean, there's certain stereotypes, not stereotypes. There's certain traits of different races among humanity that yes, they share certain traits that maybe other traits don't have or don't have as much as. That's part of living in a community of people and being there for thousands of years. That's just the way biology works, people. And it's not a big deal. We are all still human, and we are all still related. So yeah, I don't think I'm better than somebody else based upon the color of my skin, because that's stupidity. Nor do I think somebody else is worse than me based on the color of their skin. That would also be stupidity.
As noted on her LinkedIn profile, Jones is based in Newcastle in the UK. Has worked at Ubisoft as a community representative and community manager for 4 years. During that time, she has been racist to white people. Her profile notes she's worked on Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Just Dance, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones, Watch Dogs Legion,
Worked on a few games.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Immortals, Phoenix Rising, and now we've got her working on Star Wars Outlaws. So, yeah, kind of makes a lot of sense as to her sort of attitude on stuff, and those games being bad as well. So, shared via screenshots to X by user Kooks12. Jones posted back in January 2020. If you're a white dude, this is what she said. If you're a white dude complaining that diversity being raised as an issue, then people are going to keep raising the lack of diversity until we see change. That shit's got to change.
So, if you're a white dude, so first of all, calling out white men. All right. You'll find that's a thing with her. If you're a white dude complaining that diversity being raised as an issue. So if you're a white dude complaining about, hey, look at all this diversity coming up all the time. Diversity being pushed. Apparently you're not allowed to say that. Well, no, you are. You just have to be careful how you say it. Because a lot of people will assume you're racist for saying there shouldn't be diversity or diversity should not be pushed. We're going to get into the what is diversity later on. Mr. H gives a definition, an official definition of what diversity is, and you'll see what it is. It's not the good thing they say it is. It says then people are going to keep raising the lack of diversity until we see change. Look, here's my opinion on games, because we are talking about games here. I can play a game with any kind of character in it, okay? I can play a game with a female character. I can play a game with a male character. I can play a game with a white character. I can play a game with a black character. I can play a game with an Asian character. I don't care. I could also, if I so choose, play a game as a gay character or a non-binary character. I've played a game as a robot before. I've played a game as a goat before. You know what? When I played a game where I was a goat, I didn't complain about the lack of diversity in the characters. Why can't I be a porcupine? Why can't I be a human in the goat simulator? Because that would be stupid. It's a little stupid and a little selfish and a little get over yourself if you don't want to play a game because the main character is white. Okay, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Now, if you want to say the majority of player characters in games are white, I don't know the numbers, but I'm pretty sure you're right. Yes. But let's be serious. If you want to have a black character, for instance, in your game, go make a game with a black character. Or put character creators in games. There's lots of games with character creators that allow you to choose your skin color. And, if your eyes have a slant or not, and if your hair is frizzy or long and straight and blonde or black, it's got all that stuff in character creators. Do those kind of games more. But if you're talking, mainly single player games, but some other games as well, where your character is set, yes, the majority of games have white characters. You know what? In Asia, there's a lot of games. I don't know. Again, I'm not knowing percentages, but in Asia, in like Korea, Japan, China, a lot of those games will put out games where the main character is Asian. Now, they also have a lot of games over there that still put out main characters who are white. That they're allowed to do either. That's fine. They're allowed to do either. Because in the end, do you know what? In the end, the characters you see on the screen in a video game are not white or black or Asian. They're not Puerto Rican or Mexican. They're not Native American. They're not Russian or British or Chinese. All right. They're none of these things because they're just pixels on a screen. What I want from a game is not a character who looks like their skin color is the same as mine. I don't fucking care. What I want is a well-written character placed into a well-written and well-developed story that is compelling, that makes me want to play it, and that makes me feel some kind of connection or empathy to the character by going through the story and seeing the character change and overcome things. It doesn't need to be based on this color of the character's skin on the screen. Nobody cares except the racists. And people who wander around and see everything as racist and everything as race. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. You're living a miserable, horrible life that you don't need to do. Change your way of thinking. Not everything in the world is about race, and we're not in any kind of race war here. We are all part of the human race. We are all brothers and sisters. We don't need this shit.
Man. Yes, that's right. Sanctioned racism, because diversity is so important. The very concept of diversity is racist. The fact that we must have more browns and blacks in anything is a racist statement, because apparently your immutable characteristics define you as an individual. Cool.
Yeah, because, if you're black, you can only apparently relate to things you see on a screen if that person has the same skin color as you. Because there is nothing else in all of humanity that you connect to other than your skin color. Come on. That kind of shit's ridiculous. And 99% of black people, I believe, don't think that shit. Problem is the other 1%. And it's not just the blacks, okay? It's also the 1% of whites who say the same kind of thing. The 1% of Asians. It's this very small minority of people across the races who have something wrong with them in their head and think that the only thing that matters in life is the color of their skin. Okay, that's just stupidity. It is.
Yeah, diversity. Incredibly racist. Anyway, I said further in 2020, love that if you say you're trying to be more body positive, white men, it's always white men, assume that you're saying you're fat and tell you to go to the gym. Bitch, I'm a size 12. Being body positive has nothing to do with weight.
Hey, you know what? Being body positive also has nothing to do with race. Why are you going after white men? So the only people that assume that you're fat when you say you're trying to be more body positive are white men. Bull fucking shit. What is this? This is someone who hates white men. Clearly, she's attacking white men. White dudes, white men. Look to the next one down below. White males. Next down below, white privilege. This is someone who hates white men. Wake up, people. This is the definition of a racist.
Size 12 in the UK is different to sizes in the States, by the way. Size 12 is still, yeah, I mean, you're not exactly skinny with a size 12.
You want to know how you know if someone's racist or not? Look at their words, and wherever they mention a race, throw another race in there and say it. Let's do this. If you're a black dude complaining that diversity being raised is an issue, people are going to keep raising lack of diversity until we see change. That shit's got to change, man. Huh, that's pretty sus, isn't it? Hey. I love it if you're trying to be more a body positive, that Asian chicks assume you're fat and tell you to go to the gym. That sounds kind of racist, doesn't it? Please don't tell me gender isn't an issue in the games industry when you are a black non-binary person. Like you can't say this shit. Why? Because it's racist. But yet somehow people think if you put white male in there, it's not racist. People need to wake the fuck up.
Not exactly massively obese either, but you are on the chunkier side with a size 12. And then she said further, please don't tell me gender isn't an issue in the games industry when you're a white male. There you go, just apparently racist again.
Yep.
Diversity in general is an issue in the industry. I guess as a white male who is not always represented, it's easier to not know or see the misrepresentation in studios. Cool. And then she would also criticize Ninja for not teaching about white privilege on his streams.
So let me get, she's criticizing the streamer Ninja, who I'm not real familiar with, but heard of. Not sure if I've ever watched Ninja do anything. I'm not really that big into streaming. She criticized him for not teaching about white privilege. And she claims that he's boasting about his white privilege by doing this being not teaching about white privilege. She wants him because he has influence to use his influence to influence millions of kids. That would be using the platform for good, but now she's telling people don't be like him and not teach about white privilege. What the fuck? Ninja or anybody else doesn't have to do anything you want. Anything you want. Why are you complaining because they're not doing something that would be stupid and racist?
Because apparently that's super important. She wrote in January, Ninja is boasting about his white privilege by doing this. He has the potential to influence millions of kids and chooses to be a sack of beans. Use your platform for good. If you have the opportunity, don't do a Ninja.
I don't even have the patience this early in the morning to deal with this kind of written stupidity. I honestly don't.
That's right, ladies and gents. You've got to teach a whole bunch of a generation of white kids that they have an inherent upper hand, even when they don't, because of the colour of their skin.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, in the UK, the most underprivileged are the white working class.
Hear that?
Boys.
Hear that? It's a fact that it doesn't get thrown around too much.
Statistically speaking, in the UK, the most underprivileged are the white working class. Boys. They are the most, downtrodden. That's a statistical fact.
Oh. Still white privilege? So you think the UK still has white privilege? Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be like, oh well, the white privilege then is still that they're white, so they don't get racism against them. This black community manager is racist against white people, so yes, they do have racism against them. Hello.
So, cool. White privilege. What privilege? Piss off. Anyway, so Mark Kern, who's doing great work on X, would obviously share a number of other posts from Jones, as well as these after she was, was brought to his attention. Gamer boys ruin online games. Of course they do.
Males, right?
And like males. Said, this is a shameful behaviour, proof that we can't make the games industry a safe and inclusive space when the higher-ups don't understand the importance of diversity and are all middle-aged white guys.
Again, this woman is focused on diversity and the problem with white men because She sees everything through race. Nothing appeals to her unless it's done by a black person or a woman. Those are the only things she can relate to in life. Are you a woman? I guess I can relate to you. Are you a black person? Well, I can totally relate to you. So yes, those are my two safe places. Anything outside of that is diversity, racism, diversity, racism. What a sad life she must live. I mean, here she is with all these experience on all these many games we listed off at the beginning, and she is has such a narrow view of life. It is actually really, really sad that people are like this. I don't know how to help someone like that. I mean, I try to help people by being not racist, by not seeing things through racial lenses, by being kind to everyone, by giving everyone a chance. But then these people would like to destroy and do away with me because I'm a white male. Go figure. Like, go figure. It's very sad.
Eyes. That's
I
right.
need that.
Got to get more blacks and more browns because that skin color really makes a difference to their personality and their knowledge set. No, it doesn't. I'm enjoying.
No, it doesn't. That's just it.
I'm playing Days Gone, but at the same time, the lack of diversity really upsets me. These people are legitimately.
If it upsets you, please don't play it then. But you just said you're enjoying it. Well, but you're enjoying it, but you're upset. You know, again, if it's going to upset you, walk away from it and realize they're under no obligation to make their game more diverse for you or anyone else. They just made a game with good characters, a good story. Many people love Days Gone as a game. You're enjoying playing it. But again, all you see is the color of the character's skin. And you see through this red screen your hatred of white men, which includes apparently pixels on the screen that depict white men. All you see is their whiteness and their maleness, and you hate them. Fuck you, you racist. And sexist, by the way.
Insane. Like, even the camps are full of white people. Wow. And then she said further, I know the industry itself is maturing, but the games, man, they need to sort themselves out. Yay, diversity, finally. No more middle-aged white men. This person is scum.
Yep.
Like, actual scum. And then she would also write, like, an article.
This is not her article. He does correct himself after a second here.
As well. And said, yes, diversity is about getting rid of white people. And that's a good thing. What? Oh, no, sorry. This is someone else. Emmy Goldstein at Thought Catalog. Back in...
Right. So this is our exact definition of diversity. Diversity is about getting rid of white people, and that's a good thing. One of the more common memes that I've seen white supremacists spread around recently has been diversity is a code word for white genocide. The concept here is that diversity is only promoted in white nations and that the end goal is to eliminate white people altogether by flooding all white countries with non-white people until there are no white people left. Well, guess what, white supremacists? That's exactly right. Diversity is about getting rid of white people, and that's a good thing. So the goal of diversity is to erase white people. It's to do away with Caucasians through breeding, I guess. I don't know. It's to do away with white people being on the screen, in photos, talked about historically. It's to get rid of all of that. It's to make a culture of humanity that is non-white. White genocide is exactly what the world needs more than anything else. Wow. Wow. That is the definition of diversity. Jeepers.
In 2015, made this her sort of argument about diversity. Like getting rid of white people, which is basically what it is. Sorry, my bad. And then also we got this here. Now they're just using bots to promote Star Wars.
Surprise. Not.
Outlaws, like what? So Master of the TDS, doing great work on X. Please do give him a follow. Tell him I sent you. But literally, look at this. Ubisoft has teased a new story trailer. Will be dropping tomorrow, April 9th, for their upcoming Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws. The game is said to be set in a gritty underworld setting, deviating from traditional Jedi-focused Star Wars stories. However, it would seem that Disney and Lucasfilm might not be too confident in the game, as the bots are once again out in force, running interference for the game. The bots seem to be claiming that enhanced graphics and NVIDIA's advanced AI technology will make the game worth playing. Right.
Yeah.
And look at these bots. Holy bots. Acknowledge Star Wars Outlaws with NVIDIA. Confirming NVIDIA's AI. Can't wait to experience the enhanced graphics. Wow, that's going to be epic. Can't wait to experience the next level of graphics. What are you doing? There's just loads of this stuff. Tons of it. Look at this crap. Absolutely outrageous.
Uh-huh. That's
like
Disney
they're very
Star
clearly
Wars.
not confident in the game. So that's funny, obviously. I wonder how like disliked this game's going to be when it releases their trailer today. That will be interesting.
All right, let's jump over here. I've been kind of long already, so let's go. We're going to jump into Yellow Flash 2 and their video entitled Star Wars Outlaws Damage Control. Ubisoft scrambles to gaslight people over racist employee. And we're going to get into this forthwith and get through this so you can get out of this video. I know your time is precious and I appreciate it. It's important stuff here to go over about the Star Wars Outlaws game, though. So let's get right into this.
Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So, Star Wars account, the @StarWars account over on Twitter.
Oh, boy.
Dropped this not that long ago, at least at the time of recording. This is like, an hour and a half ago for me. And they dropped this. It's almost over. It's well over 500,000 views.
By the way, I haven't said this already, but both these videos will be linked down below in the description so you can check them out for yourself.
639K. A lot of people are laughing at it because it's dumb. I still can't believe what they did to this actress. So I went over this. I did a video on this.
I could be wrong, but this character model, the face, at least the hair is probably the same, but the face looks, to me, slightly different than the original images we were shown. I could be wrong on that. I could be remembering wrongly, but I seem to think that she had a slightly more feminine-looking face than she does now. Other than the nose, there's not a lot about any of her facial features that scream woman at all. Literally none. Even has wide shoulders. Very, very kind of ugly hairstyle.
They had a beautiful woman playing this character for motion cap, and they changed her. They gave her a crimson chin.
Shocking.
Yeah, they kind of are trying to
This is
blur
Disney
the
Star
lines
Wars.
between men and women with this.
Blurring the
That's
lines
been going
between
on
the
with a lot of
sexes.
Western female characters. It's funny that the Eastern studios make all of the women look very beautiful, and
Yay.
it's
Women are
obvious that they're a
beautiful.
woman. This one,
Women should never be embarrassed to be beautiful. Right? I don't think so. Yeah. But to make women look more like men and to make men in games behave and act and look more like women seems to be the way things are going. And Disney Star Wars is just moving right along with that through Ubisoft here.
never know. You see how she doesn't even have a very big chest. These are small little things. The game sucks. First off, why are you doing an outlaw character game and not using Han Solo? You could easily
Good question.
have made this game happen. Hell, even between Star Wars and Empire Strikes
Would have
Back.
sold really good. Yeah.
That's something that
really,
would
really
print
good.
money. But keep in mind, when it comes to anything outside of Lucasfilm, like you license something, I'm going to guess, because I know this happens with Marvel, probably happens with Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm probably mandates what kind of character they want to be the lead, and they probably said an original woman of color.
I would think so, yeah.
And, you know, regardless, years ago.
And again, I don't care that this character is a female, and I don't care this character is a woman of color. I didn't even realize she was a woman of color. Looks just like she's tan to me. I don't care about skin color. It doesn't make any difference. Don't care. I don't care what her sexual preference is, as long as it's not pushed in my face in either way. But what I do care about is why they made her look like a man. Why? Why? What's the good reason for that? Why? Let me ask you again. Why?
A decade ago, I would have been hyped for this game because I was a big Star Wars fan. And I'm not a big Star Wars fan anymore. Most people aren't.
It's hard to be.
And you had that community manager. I did a whole video on this yesterday. Go check it out. It's obviously she hates men.
Gaming hates straight white men. Yep.
And she's a racist. She hates white people. A big old collage of screenshots out there of her basically saying that.
Yep.
Here are some of them right here if you want to look them over.
And we've gone through these already. A lot of these, you can check them out yourself. But yeah, they say over and over again, she always picks on white men. She thinks they're a problem and wants to do away with them. She thinks she's better than them. She thinks white men are the issue with everything. She is fixated on white men. She hates white men. She is a racist and a sexist. Not a good person. And I'm allowed to say that despite the fact that she's black and I'm white, because her words show her to be a racist.
I believe there were more as well. She obviously doesn't like those people. And you've got people from Ubisoft coming out now defending her. Like, look, it doesn't really matter. I'm just not going to buy the game. I won't buy this game. I refuse to buy this game. But it's funny that.
And as of yesterday, I made that same decision myself. I will not be buying this game. It's not happening. It was high on my mental list. I was thinking it was on my Steam wish list, but it wasn't on Steam at the time. Not sure if it is now or not, but it's high on my mental list of games I wanted to check out that I was excited for. Have been for a while, but I'm not getting this game. I'm not giving any money to people who are promoting the agenda of the uglification of women or the masculine, the making women more masculine. I'm also not getting on board with a company whose community manager is racist and hates me because of the color of my skin and the sex I am. Not happening.
This trailer drops today. I guess she left Twitter. So I'm sure Kotaku, who's already running damage control on this, will write some big, long article saying people were going after her. Nobody was going after her. Probably send fake screenshots from their buddy will send it of some dude with a nasty screen name saying things to her. I totally think that a lot of these people send each other these things so that they can kind of pull the victim narrative.
I agree that's at least a possibility. I agree that it does happen at times, but it's really hard to prove yes or no because it's just words and whatever on a screen. Just interesting. So Kotaku here says Star Wars Outlaws Backlash proves we need more women protagonists. I don't have a problem with women protagonists. I prefer to play female characters most of the time. But again, she looks more like a woman here. The hair is feathered a little bit more instead of kind of straight across the bangs. The chin is not so dude-like. It's pointy, but not bad. She still looks more feminine in this picture than she does back here. Where are we? We're at 555. Where are we? Than she does there. They changed something. They've changed some things about her face. They've made her more dude-like in the game. Or they were just lying to us with this picture here and keeping what's really going on from us. Interesting.
Other these things so that they can kind of pull the victim narrative. People just don't like racists. And the only people I see acting like that are these journalists and game developers who are out here constantly, mostly community managers all the time, just trashing people based on who they are, which is usually who what man, and going after dudes. It gets why are you trying to divide your customer base? I'll never understand this, like especially when it comes to a AAA game, which are expensive. They are expensive to hell to make. I mean, if you're a community manager, maybe don't attack people based on their gender and who they are. That's an idea.
That'd be great.
But instead, they twist it around and they try to say that you're the ones that are racist and sexist, trying to gaslight people. So now that they're saying, well, there's Star Wars Outlaws backlash because it's a woman of color.
Nobody cares.
People don't have issues with female protagonists. They have issues with woke female abominations, which is what this is. They literally try to make her look manly as much as they can. Maybe put some shading around the chest area, like so. She definitely has something there. She even kind of looks like Han Solo. Like put a jacket over the shirt. It's kind of a white shirt. She got that kind of gun belt look that he had there. Why don't you just make a Han Solo game then? I mean, she could team up with him. You could make it a co-op game. I mean, there's a million things you could do. But instead, they decide to give us a hybrid of a man and a woman and then tell us, we're the problem if we don't want to play it. Look, I'll just play retro games.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of old Star Wars games. I've been wanting to go back and play the old Super Nintendo ones for a long time. Rogue Squadron, I've been wanting to play that again. I've been wanting to play Shadows of the Empire. I can do all that just fine. I don't need this game.
And if you look right here, back a little bit more. Anyways, if you look right down over here, you'll see there's an article, video by Clownfish TV called Gamers Reject New AAA Games for Older Titles, which is showing that people are going back and playing games from up to 10 years ago rather than playing the AAA games that are coming out now. It is a proven fact that more people are playing older games and choosing to stick with those older games rather than picking up the new ones. Yeah, that's going to continue, and it's going to be a bigger and bigger trend, hopefully, because more and more people keep putting their agendas into gaming and creating things that people are like, ew, no, I don't want to support that. So, anyways, people, that's it for me. I've had my say. Thank you to both Yellow Flash 2 and Mr. H Reviews for allowing me to do a little reaction to your videos and give my piece. Sorry this went a little bit long, but it is what it is, people. I needed to have my say on this. You're welcome to have your say below. You are welcome to disagree with me. Just don't be a dick. No name calling, all right? And be respectful of others who have different opinions than you, and everything is cool. I respect the rights of others to disagree with me or have your own opinion, form your own opinion, or want to have discussions about things. That's all cool. Just do it respectfully and kindly. because we're all brothers and sisters here. We are all part of the human race. And I don't have an issue with someone's sex, someone's race, someone's skin color. Doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't matter. What matters is the kind of person you are. That's what matters. And in gaming, what matters is a character who is well written, part of a good, well written story, and has a character arc that draws me in and helps me identify with the character as we go through the story. I don't need to identify with the character based on their sex, based on their skin color, based on their height, based on their eye color, based on their sexual preference. I don't need any of that. I need well-written characters and well-written stories that fit together properly and will draw me in. It's simple. It's so simple. Stop saying that I need to focus more on race. I don't. I need to focus less on race. We all need to focus less on race. You'd all be much better off. For Miss Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread. Thank you all for hanging out. See y'all later. Bye-bye.